Hey everyone, welcome to Dwell According to Knowledge, the talk show. I am your host and your coach, Trey. And let's get to your relationship tip for today. All right, now, all relationships aren't successful. Some of them break up. So what I want to do today in your relationship tip is to tell you how to move on after a breakup. Okay? All right, let's get to it. And I'm gonna share just a few of these because I've been in and out of relationships long enough to know that waddling and dwelling and sitting around doing absolutely nothing when you know you've had your heart broken, you know, your mind's fixated, you don't want to do nothing. Some people get depressed. Some people, they're very, very saddened because what? They've given their heart, they've given their mind, they've given their time to people, to, another person. And then all of a sudden, here's a breakup. Whether it's your choice or whether it was for theirs, the breakup happens and you're no longer together, okay? So I'm going to give you a couple of tips here, and you can do them and move on okay? All right, number one, a lot of times we have to let ourselves mourn the relationship. We lost it, and it's almost like the death of someone, because it is the death. It's the death of your relationship, okay? And they both have some similarities. And in each case, there is a mourning process that's in there. You feel sad, you feel alone, you feel cheated, you feel a whole bunch of things, whether or not the person cheated on you, but you still feel cheated because you were expecting good things to happen in a relationship, okay? So when we think about detaching from a relationship, breaking up, or whatever else happened for that relationship to end, you have to give yourself a little bit of time to mourn that relationship and move on. Okay. Number two, we do this, but we always, instead of not thinking of the other person, we don't want to play the blame game, so to speak. Fingers always pointing at him or her or whoever else it is. But remember this, because it's very important. There were two people in that relationship. You understand? There were two people in that relationship. I had a young lady at a singles ministry that I was conducting a workshop in the singles ministry, and she says, well, what if you didn't do nothing? And I promptly told her, I said, you either did something or you didn't do something. You take a look at that. Okay, but don't blame the other person. What we have to do is we have to go back, almost to day one of that relationship, and come forward to the breakup to find out what went on, okay? There were some things that you did. There were some things that they did, okay? All right, number three, you got to switch up your routine, switch up your environment, switch up some of the things that you've done and that you're doing. Number one is don't be laying around like back in the day they used to call it laying on the couch watching soap operas and eating bonbon, because you know what that does? All that does is make you fat. Okay, we have to set our minds, set our bodies, set our routines into doing something different. This, get up and go do some things. Take some new stuff. Do some things that you haven't done before. So that you're not sitting around gaining weight. Number one, gaining some depression. Looking and feeling and sounding really, really bad. Being negative, okay? So we don't want to do any of those things, okay? So, stay offline, disconnect yourself from that person. There's no watching and, keeping tabs on them, him, or her, through the social media. Yeah, you all used to be, friends, you all used to be things on these social media things. It's time to let them go and trying to not let go, but let go and cut them off. You got to get into one of these things where the disconnect also means let go, which means open your hands and let whatever that is go. Okay? And you got to remember that social media thing is only going to tie you to that person. You understand? It's only going to tie you to it. So cut off all social media contact, online, whatever. Get rid of it. Block, whatever you need to do. Same thing with your phone. Okay? All right. And this one goes back to my other one. Keep yourself busy. Do some stuff. Call up your friends. Go out. Matter of fact, go out by yourself. It took me a while to figure out that there did not need to be anyone sitting in the passenger seat of my car, the passenger side on the bus. It didn't need the person that's that seat next to me in the movie theater, that seat that's sitting across from me at the restaurant. Nobody needed to be in them. And boy, when I found that and when I saw that, I was like, hallelujah. It was something else when I finished it, and then I started a process, that had me thinking it was okay. All right. Now, this is the most important one, but it's not the last one. Okay. Take time to reflect, and I think I said this before, and learn from the relationship. What happened? What went on? What didn't go on? Because there was a part that we all play in a relationship. So we got to take time, got to look back, got to reflect on it, so that we don't take all of that stuff or any of that stuff into the next relationship. Okay. This one is another one, and sometimes we get caught up in this thing because of the lonely piece and stuff like that. It just so happens if we happen to see him out in the street or something like that, and we say hi, we start to talk, and we think, and we both are feeling a certain way. One of the things we do not need to do is have any kind of physical contact with that person. Yes, I'm talking about sex, people. No sex, no nothing. Yeah, you're familiar with each other. Yeah, you've been in that thing, and yeah, you have committed yourselves at one point. But at one point is that piece. Okay, so no, that's a no. We don't go over nobody's house. Hey, I think I need you to fix something. No, we don't go, hey, my car is this, that, and the other. Hey, no, we don't. There's nothing that I need to do in order to come around your house. You come around mine, or any of that stuff. We don't stop at the door. Hey, did you leave this, leave that, leave the other? No, we don't do any of that stuff, because all that leads to is feelings, and feelings lead to. All right, or do I have to say it? All right, great. Now, another part about this is a lot of people, they stay stuck because they're looking for something. It's called closure. Okay? Don't expect any closure from your ex. A lot of times it's just about moving on, regardless of whether or not there's an explanation. There really doesn't need to be, and I've been stuck in that one for a good little while, for a couple of them. All of a sudden, boom, they disappear, and all of a sudden I'm sitting there and I'm going, well, what happened? And what I find out is the more I get away from that, the more it didn't have to come to what happened. The bottom line is it did. All right. And here we go. Last, except not least, because one of the things in my other videos that I talked about is we don't transfer our past relationships into our new one or our next one, and that is ask for help. No matter what happens in that relationship, it may have devastated you to a point that you need to talk to someone. Get the help that you need. Stop thinking that therapy always meant that you're crazy. It does not mean that. It just means that you need to talk to someone and get it out. Okay? I hope you all got something from that. Listen, I am Trey, the author of Dwell According to Knowledge, How to Find and Date Your Mate. It's on Amazon. The other thing, there's 3 buttons I want you to push. The like button, subscribe button, and the share button. And I'll see you in the next video. God bless.